Merry Christmas!
Hi, Bruce. How are you?
I'm doing well, Anna Marie. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. Bruce, welcome to our podcast where we share the magic and the memory of Christmas. Tell me, Bruce, what would you like to share?
After 7 decades, there's so many different memories. I would probably, as a Sybarite, I would probably want to key in on food.
Hmm.
Of course, presents and the spirit and charity and all that stuff is important. But for me, I think about the food over the years. As a kid, my mom was big on making these big meals, big roast beef meals and everything. When you have seven kids and the two of them and grandparents, we had big dinner table discussions and activities and everything else too, though. Um, I think one of my favorite, one of my favorite dishes to make was Yorkshire pudding, believe it or not, baked under a dripping roast onto it. And I remember making that quite a few years. I like to cook, and I was always big, not a religious person, but I was always big on the seven fishes idea. And I do remember back in my married life making a bouillabaisse for the first time, and I wanted it to be authentic. So I went to the Philadelphia Reading market to buy um, saffron, which is the most expensive spice in the world, I believe. But with saffron, I bought a small vial. Actually, remember the old crack bottle? It was like a quarter of that size,
Hmm.
full. And I had to do it just right. And I had seven fishes that I made in basically a big fish soup. And I put that in, and that cost me, and this is probably $1988, $32.
Wow.
So in today, real saffron would probably be $100 that much or something. So I think,
Hmm.
but it was always fun doing that. The Again, back in my married life, we usually made a crown roast, and it was always fun putting the little paper hats on the different bones sticking up and everything. But we shared it with neighbors. We had people that were not into Christmas celebrating and everything else, and we'd invite them over and their kids and everything else. So to me, it seemed to be food oriented. It was always a number of people around the Christmas table, enjoying, laughing, and of course, a day or two's worth of preparation, baking pies the day before, baking some kind of a big roast and making sure it gets in the oven at the right time and cooked the right way and everything too, though. So um, that's probably the biggest memory I can think of right at this point in time.
So was it, Bruce, was it the preparation or was it the eating or was it the smell, the aroma during the time that it was cooking?
Well, the smell was important, of course. You always love, people walking into the house and, oh my gosh, smell that roast cooking or whatever.
Hmm.
The eating is important where, you finally get to relax. And I always like sitting at the seat, and it didn't have to be at the head of the table, but the nearest one to the kitchen, so I could get things, get people seated. I always had the plates warmed up and that kind of thing. So I was important to do this right. So I was readily available in the kitchen, got everybody seated and everything else. But the preparation was fun. I mean, I'm a manager all my life in various things, and management is getting things done through people. Well, especially in cooking big meals like that, it's fun to get people working with you. Have a nice
Hmm.
big kitchen, and hey, Joe, can you dice up the celery over here? And Sam, can you stir this pot over here? And, over there would be Mary, doing the dishes and cleaning up as we're making messes and everything too, though. So, anytime you have a team effort working at a thing, I think you enjoy. And, the emotions are involved too, though, which help you
Hmm.
remember those great memories. So, yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Bruce. Well, I'm really very thrilled that you took the time to share these memories with us, and we'll come back and talk to you again sometime about other memories.
How about New Year's? All
We'll see. We'll see about
right.
that. All
Good
right.
talking.
Thank you,
Yep.
Bruce.
Yep. Bye.
Merry Christmas!